What's up, everybody? Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to talk to you all about the lovely Chi-Yu clone. Now, only difference between the clone and the real is the quality of it's a little bit better. Quality of the materials used in the tube, but it's only a little bit better. Some people just go nuts when you tell them you have a clone. Some people go nuts when you tell them you have the real thing. Like, why the hell would you spend $200 on a freaking mod, on a freaking tube that holds a battery? Well, some people love it, some people are connoisseurs, some people not so much, but it's neither here nor there. But clone or not, this shit hits hard. And I'll show you all why in a minute. So pretty much, it does have the Style of Mojo logo on there. It does have that little insignia, or a little character. It has these Korean characters on there, which I forgot what it means. I think it means like the wind is with you or something like that. I have to look it up, don't quote me on it, but it's something like that. Right now I have it in 18650 mode with a kick. Let me just show you guys different devices you can put on there. You can put ProTank 3. I just finished shooting the ProTank 3 video, so I guess this is a little double feature for you guys. Back-to-back videos. Vaping on the ProTank 3, alright. It's nothing too much, nothing too fancy. Decent vape. Let me show you guys what you're paying for when you get it. Whether you get it at a vape shop or Fast Tech or Discount Vapors, don't matter. Oh, whoa. Yeah, dropped it, but we're safe. So yep, you put a kick in there. Just take it out. Comes in 3 tubes. 18650 mode, 18490, and 18350. You probably could put an 18490 in there. Kick slides right out. There you go. So this one is your kick ring. There you go. Here's 18650 mode with a kick. I'm not going to show you guys all the modes because you guys already know how it looks. There you go. Kick ring is off. Right now I got a AWIMR 18650 battery, but to show you guys what other stuff you can put on there, I'm using a different battery, but pretty much you got the bottom switch, your locking ring, which is fairly nice. Fairly smooth. The threadings on this are pretty damn nice. Threadings are just pretty good. A little bit squeaky after you've used it for a while, but pretty good. Nice and spaced out, nice and good in size. So switch, kind of smooth-ish. I was actually considering putting some magnetic switches, magnets in there, just to give me a better vape, because I hear it's a much smoother vape, a much smoother switch, a little bit of a better vape. So then you have 18650 mode. Ah. I'm so lazy, I'm not even going to screw them in all the way. I'll just show you guys. 18650 mode with your kick ring. That's not how it actually looks. Obviously you can screw the thread downs all the way. Or just 18350 mode. pretty much. That's how it looks. Nice brass firing pins, which is a plus in my book because nobody likes stainless steel firing pins. That is crap. Good feature it has is the adjustable firing pin at the bottom, but there is another firing pin that you can mess with. It's this one. That one you can actually screw out. See that? Pretty good. So you can actually flush mount any device you want on there. So pretty much let me kind of put it back together for y'all. Let's see, do this. Now, whether or not you want to use this tube with the logo on it as the top or as the bottom, it doesn't matter. It hits the same. So there's 18490 tube, and your 18650. Just kind of get nice and in there. So then you also have the airflow ring, which kind of helps depending on your device, kind of doesn't. Showed you guys in the other video, you know, you can have it down all the way, you'll get some good airflow. Screw it. I think it's reverse threaded, I'm not completely sure on that. There you go. Airflow is blocked. Or if you want more airflow, screw it down. There you go. So that was, you guys saw me use it on the ProTink 3 with the kick. Make sure you guys put an atomizer on there, such as my Nimbus. The Nimbus isn't a clone, the Nimbus is real. Actually, I think in my other video I said it was a clone. It wasn't until I found out it was a real one. So I screw it down all the way, get it nice and flush mounted, you know, and then you adjust the pin at the bottom to connect to your atomizer, get it nice and flush, and depending on the size of your battery will depend on how far in you screw this one, you adjust this other one. So this one's at 0.3 ohms, so I will use my high drain battery by MNKE IMR 18650. This one's actually rated at 30 amps, which is amazing. So just drops in there fairly nicely. Put in your top cap. So you sometimes have to adjust the airflow ring a little bit because it sometimes gets in the way. A little bit of battery rattle, so you want to screw it out a little bit more. There we go. Some people like the battery, some people don't care about the battery rattle, some people it just pisses them off. Me personally, it kind of aggravates me just a little bit. It's nothing too much. If I have some battery rattle, I'm not gonna go bonkers on it. So yeah, there you go. No battery rattle. Unlock the locking ring. So pretty much there it is on my Nimbus. So you guys can actually hear how it sounds. And it's a pretty damn good vape, I gotta say. A pretty damn good vape. Almost outstanding. I don't say that often, but it's fairly nice, especially for what it is. But yeah. Right here I have this one juice called a Strango is in there. I think it's Strango. We'll see. It's by it's ordered by Voodoo, or it's the Jameson. So line up the air holes. Switch is kind of sensitive, so if I just I think it is Strangle. Pretty good. I actually think the switch is a little too sensitive, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust this firing pin, just kind of screw it in just a little bit. Get it nice and flush. Yeah, it is what it is. Can't get it perfect, but actually I could get it perfect if I wanted to, but I'm not going to fiddle around with that on camera. And this thing hits pretty fucking hard. Whether or not it hits as hard as a Smoke-Tech Magneto, kinda not too sure about that. I haven't vaped a Magneto yet, but soon. Very soon. Nice. Nice. Very nice. I just think it's going a bit dry. Just a little. Just a little, but there you go. Great product. Great investment. In my books, my professional opinion, I gotta say, go for it. Go for it. Really, really great vape. You won't be disappointed with it. Unless you get the one with stainless steel firing pins, don't go for that one. Make sure there's brass firing pins. Make sure, before you buy it, all the threadings on it are smooth. Make sure all the threadings are smooth. Make sure the firing pins are made out of brass or some material that's really conductive. Make sure you get a good quality one without any scratches on there. Because if you're getting a clone, you might as well get one that looks pretty. A little bit dry. That's kind of what I do, just to test out the flavor a little bit. So instead of putting some Strangle, I'm putting some Jamesons. And the Jameson doesn't come in a bottle like this. I showed you guys in the other video for the Nimbus. Jameson comes in a bottle like that. Actually, maybe a bit bright, but yeah. And I'm loving this one. I am really loving this one. It's hitting hard. It's hitting pretty fucking hard, and I've hit quite a few mods before with different builds. I've vaped microcoils, I've vaped dual microcoils, sub-ohm coils, 2-ohm coils, and 1.8 ohm dual coils. I vaped a lot of shit, and I gotta say, this one's hitting pretty freaking damn hard. That's also another thing you want to look for when you buy it, if it hits hard or not. Because if you have a build that you built yourself and you know exactly how it's supposed to be hitting and it's not hitting hard, don't go for that one. Get a different one, different clone, or if you buy a real one, go for it. If you're into either getting it as what's that word? As a novelty item, then go for it. If you want to get it just to vape it, do it. That's what it was made for. Just pointing out the obvious. But yeah, great investment. I am not disappointed at all. I regret nothing. I put my iGo W on here. It's fucking hard. Got the Nimbus on here, the real one. It's hard. The only thing I don't like is with the Pro Tank 3, it's not hitting as hard, but then again, you're using the stock heads and the Pro Tank 3, so you're getting what you paid for. Great vape. Great vape. Great clone, in my opinion. Do it. It's a win. It looks great. Locking ring is nice because whenever you buy any mod of only pertaining to mods, there's going to be 3 things you're always going to be dealing with. No, 4 things you're always going to be dealing with when you're always going to be using. Is your locking switch, your firing pin, your drip tip, and your juice. 4 things you are always going to be using. If you have a drip tip where you're not comfortable using it, you're thinking, man, I feel like I could chew this thing off, or I feel like I could break it in half and get a better one. If you feel like, man, this locking ring, it's not quite as good, the switch is not quite as good, it's not quite as smooth, it travels a little bit too far, it doesn't travel enough, then you may want to steer towards getting a different mod, or getting a different vape. Locking ring, I love it, I really do. Because one thing you're always going to be doing, you're always going to be locking it and unlocking it. And if you're not in love with it at first sight, if you don't like it, you will not be satisfied. If you're running some good juice on there, it should be good. That's just pointing out the obvious. Great vape. You can pick them up at some vape shops that sell the clones. Pick up a real one. Pick it up online, Fast Tech, Discount Vapors. You can get it for different prices. Some vape shops will sell them for a little bit higher, for like 60 or 70. Some of them will sell them for 50. You can get it online, a clone, 20 bucks or 25 bucks. You can get the stainless steel version. You can get the brass version, and there was actually this one clone. I'm pretty sure you can get it in the real one too. It's a gold-plated brass, and that one looks fucking nice. It looks pretty damn nice. It's like the color of the threads. Actually, on here it doesn't even look as good, but the threads on this look pretty damn shiny. You can't see it on the camera though, but it literally looks like it's gold. It's gold-plated, so it's pretty damn shiny. It looks pretty nice. I think that one's a work of art. Differences between the clone and a regular one and a real one is the engravings. Engravings a little bit deeper. I think on the clone, the design on that little dragon or the style of Mojo is on the clone is more complex. There's more stuff on it, and especially on the bottom too. I think the bottom one on the switch, I think the engraving at the bottom is not as deep, but it's more bigger. But yeah, some people hate, and I have very good reason. They hate the fact that whenever you have a clone of anything, China will slap on they'll just make it look exactly, even down to the logo. And I kind of think that's a bit bullshit. I mean, that person worked hard and you're basically slandering their name. But hell, if I'm gonna get a clone, if I'm gonna get a mod, I want it to look damn well as close to the real one as possible. If you're one of those people who's like, man, people like you give vapors a bad name, I don't give a shit. I don't have $200 for a real one, and I'm not gonna pay $200 for a freaking mod. I don't think I spend $200 on any vape product. I think atomizer shouldn't be above $50. Mods shouldn't be anywhere above $100 unless you're getting a beautifully designed mod that's just buttery smooth and just looks kick-ass, and it doesn't matter what you put on there, it's always going to be flush mounted. Unless I'm getting a mod like that, then I'll pay $200. But it would have to be a mod where I fall in love at first sight. And I've seen a lot of beautiful ones, like the Caravella, the brass. Whew, man, that one was sexy. It was probably the sexiest mod I've ever seen. The Victoria looks pretty nice too. The Nemesis, not too shabby, but I wasn't a fan of the locking switch. I felt like the locking ring. I felt it was a bit boring, but kind of rambling at that point. But those are just examples of beautiful mods that you'd fall in love with and you would pay the money for it. But for generally speaking, you don't want to pay 200 for a fucking mod. For a tube that holds your battery. I mean, really? 200 for that? That tube better be made out of fucking gold or silver if I'm paying 200 for it, you know? But yeah, that's what I got. Great vape. Highly recommended. I highly recommend it. Goes good with the kick. It looks pretty freaking huge when you have it in 18650 mode with the kick. It looks pretty damn huge. Threads on it, pretty smooth. Yeah, I say go out and go for it. You won't be disappointed. Unless you go in with stainless steel firing pins and it's all a cheap ass, poorly made clone. In that case, steer away. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and Merry Christmas and Happy Vapes.